Hey everyone, welcome back to Behind the Grape. Tonight, as we're going into yet another COVID quasi lockdown, I wanted to look at a winery that is near and dear to my heart down in Niagara. And, we know that everyone is hurting, but trust me when I say this, our wineries in Niagara are hurting more than we can even imagine. And so I thought it important to really highlight them. When times are good, we rely on the wineries to stock our shelves, stock the LCBO shelves, get the wines in our restaurants. But when it's reversed, where we can, I want to pay it forward to those wineries that have always been there for us, and highlight them and put a spotlight on them because they're bloody good. And tonight's wine is no exception, from Niagara Peninsula, and in particular up on the 20-mile bench. And it's going to be Ed Madronich's wine, the Flat Rock Cellars UnPlugged Chardonnay 2019 vintage. Ed has become somewhat of a rock star in Niagara. I mean, there's so many great people, and we've talked about some of them, and I've been remiss not to talk about Ed. I put Ed as one of the driving forces behind the Cool Climate Chardonnay conference that happens every year. That's now caught on globally. That really highlights what we can do in Niagara. And I put Ed and Flat Rock in the category of people that really put Chardonnay on the map for us. People long before them, were growing Chardonnay, but in recent years, it's people like Ed and others that I've mentioned in past episodes that have continued to push it forward and finesse it and get it to the quality levels that it is now, where it does actually compete on a world stage, hands down. Other reason I wanted this wine is, I have a lot of people that say, they still say, and it boggles my mind, ABC, anything but Chardonnay. Because in their minds, they've got that old school mentality of, well, it's going to be heavily oaked, it's going to weigh me down, I'm going to have to chew through it, I don't like it. And at the same breath, they'll be like, you know what, I really want a glass of Chablis. Well, it's the same grape. They're just done differently. One with oak, one with no oak, or sometimes maybe some neutral oak. But they're stylistically different. Doesn't mean one's better than the other. And in fact, Flat Rock does do an oaked version and this version. So, you can try them side by side. Maybe you like one over the other. That's fine. I'm never here to tell you what to drink and what to like. I just tell you what's in the bottle and what's in the glass, and you can make your own inferences from that when you try them. Flat Rock is also a sustainable winery. You can see a little green leaf there. And in another episode, I'll talk about more what goes into being a sustainable winery. But needless to say, there's a handful of them in Ontario. I believe 30-ish. And the other thing that I love about this winery, it's a gravity flow winery. So the grapes, from the moment that they're picked and get into the winery itself, everything is done through gravity. So the grapes are dropped into the hopper, and then when it's ready to go into the fermentation, the hoses are hooked up, and the wine flows down to the next stage. And then it flows down into the barrel cellars or into stainless steel tanks where it'll age. But every step is just done through gravity. So it's minimal contact throughout the entire process. And I think that also helps, it helps the environment, but I think the less handling of the grapes also work out to producing a higher quality wine down the road. I have nothing really for me. I can't really prove that, but I believe that with all my heart. So let's look at the wine. So you look at it, it's a beautiful golden color. It's a very clean, little watery rim. Nice viscosity. Let's put it on the nose. And the first thing I get is the no oak. And you have to train yourself on that, because every time you think Chardonnay, most people think, oh, where's the oak? It's going to be so oaky. It's not here. This is all about the fruit. And this is green apple core and skin, peach, apricot, lime zest, big time. Then you've got some really delicate white florals, crushed gravel, and some limestone minerality. And again, this is up on the 20-mile bench, and we've talked about the bench in the past. That little elevation, you get those warm breezes in the fall coming off of Lake Ontario. And really, even in the summer, when the breezes are a little cooler, standing up on that bench and having those breezes just come through, and you watch the leaves rustle, and you can just feel the grapes harnessing the energy. It's unbelievable up there. Let's taste this wine. great medium-bodied wine, medium plus acidity, medium alcohol, about 12%. But again, everything is mimicking here. Apricot, peach, green apple core, lime zest, lime, a little bit of lilacs in there, baby's breath. And then here comes that limestone minerality and that crushed gravel. It's such a mineral-driven wine. And again, if you're walking through the vineyards up there, you'll understand why. It's so much minerality under the soil. It's a delicious wine. It's not, again, like it's a medium body wine, so it's not overly heavy. So I wouldn't want to have anything too rich with this wine. I'm thinking like a great mixed salad with some citrus segments, maybe a grilled chicken breast, maybe a citrus marinated salmon, or even doing a salmon on a cedar plank, again with some citrus. And I just like that citrus on citrus. I would even look at doing a salmon or an Arctic char with a little bit of soy. Sometimes the sweetness of the soy, it'll caramelize, especially if you do it on a barbecue or in the oven. And then the caramelization helps to cut through the acidity of the wine a little bit and just adds another dimension to it. But I mean, this wine, it's sub $20. It's a local wine. It's becoming an iconic wine. It's from a great family, and supporting great people, supporting VQA. So, you know, if you're looking for something different, you say you don't like Chardonnay, run out, grab this bottle, give it a try. You won't go wrong. If you can't find it at your LCBO, you can also find it through Serge Janik with Medovino Imports. They look after Ed and the team for their wines. And yeah, I just think it's important that we support local. And when we have a product like this that is taking care of our environment, that is doing things the right way, and is a champion for our restaurants, it's good to pay it forward. So Flat Rock, great job. This Unplugged Chardonnay delivers well past the sub 20 that it's marked at. So thank you guys. Have a great night and stay safe.